welcome from South Goa. Oh my god. I look like this because I'm just really exhausted. I've had a really long travel day. But I'm here in South Goa and it's 5 p.m. at the moment. I have just arrived at my hostel. Super excited to be here. I've been wanting a break for a really long time and I'm just glad that I could catch a window and just took the opportunity to take 3-4 days off and just travel. I will tell you what my intentions for this trip are very soon, but for now I think I'm just going to head to the beach straight away because it is very inviting at the moment. I can see it right here, like from my balcony. It's day 0, there's no plans as yet because I think like on the first day when you arrive you just need to take it slow, just soak in the vibe and feel the place. So that's what I'm here to do. I just got back from the beach and it was so good. I've been craving a beach vacation for so long. Or ab bas the only thing I have in mind is lying here and listening to the sound of the ocean and just relaxing because that's all there is. That's all there is to life, Sometimes you just have to lay back and let your nervous system relax. It's so calming. Oh my god. I just have tonight to spend in this property and tomorrow I'm checking out from this place and then going to some other property that I'm really excited to go, and I can't wait to show you guys what that place looks like. But for now, just going to stay here and chill for some time. When I landed here, I felt so relieved because the weeks leading up to this trip had felt very heavy, like I was slowly drifting away from my own self. This past year has been rough. I went through a terrible breakup at the start of this year. My family's been going through a crisis and I had to take on a lot more financial responsibility than I was ready for. I never really shared any of this online, but just kept working through it, juggling 6 to 7 gigs on top of my full-time job because maybe that was my way of coping with the pain, and that worked. But after months of just going at it full speed and running on empty, I started to feel disconnected from my own body. I've realized that city life gives me that discipline and structure that I need, but as a highly sensitive person, I also need little pauses in between where I can breathe, create, and just be, without the constant noise coming in from all the sides. So that's what I came here to do. To slow down and just reconnect with my body and my breath. Good morning from this little slice of paradise. I've spent 2 nights here now and something about this place just feels like a deep exhale. It's just so grounding and comforting to be here. I never thought that taking a short 3-4 day ka solo trip would fill me up with so much warmth and comfort because earlier my solo trip would look so different. Like I would want to be out and about and I would want to interact with strangers and I would want to have my days filled with experiences, but this solo trip has been nothing like any of the ones that I've experienced so far, and I just feel like I need to do this often. I've been sleeping like an absolute baby these past 2 days and waking up super refreshed, super charged up, waking up to the sound of the birds chirping outside and the rain gently tapping on the rooftop. It's just such a good reminder to slow down, and this is exactly what my soul needed, I think. And I've just been thinking about how we live in a time where so much of travel is influenced by what we see online. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all need some inspiration every now and then to, get inspired and stay in places that we've never been to. But I feel like there's a difference between going somewhere that looks good and going to a place that feels right. I think blindly going to places that don't speak to our soul is just doing a disservice to the kind of experience you end up having. And I feel like we ought to look deeper, we ought to do our due diligence and do some research and intentionally choose the place that we want to stay at and the kind of experience that we want to have, so that we end up having a much more sweeter and enriching experience, because it just makes it so much more wholesome. It just makes your travel experience so much more memorable and wholesome. And I feel like we all need to do that. And maybe because I'm nearing my late 20s now, still single, still figuring so much out, I'm learning to spend more on experiences that speak to me, that speak to my soul, that feel aligned. And this place is definitely high up there now. It's just one of those places that soften something inside you and make you feel more whole, more connected to yourself. I don't know if I can do any justice by explaining how I feel right now, but you just have to be here to really know, and not just be here for the sake of it. I feel like the kind of intention that you come here with also matters. For example, there's not many cafes around here. There's not much to do if you don't have a two-wheeler on you. Like me, I'm just mostly walking to places by myself. But this place is a world in itself. Like, I've just been traveling inside from like the room to yoga shala to practice yoga, and then to just walk around the vicinity for a bit, and that's just about it. So I feel like intention really matters, because this is what I came here for and this is what I'm getting. So if you are coming here not looking for any of these things, which is to slow down, which is to listen to yourself, which is to journal and pour your heart out and really talk to yourself and ask yourself what it is that you really want out of your life, maybe this is not the place for you. I hate to break it to you, but you're maybe better off staying in a very happening place. But this is just to say that you need to bring the intention along with yourself. Anyway, it's a Sunday morning and I've been up for a few hours, and all I plan to do today is just sit and write and maybe shoot some content, because I've just been soaking up this place ever since I got here and I don't have any regrets. But first, I really need to eat something because बहुत ज़्यादा भूख लग रही है. Okay, so I've just locked my room and I'm just about to head out. But before that, I just want to quickly show you the little balcony situation that I have. It's so cute. I've been sitting out here to have my coffee and look at the view. बहुत ही बढ़िया है यार. They're like tiny flowers. So nice. Anyway, let's get some brunch. Holy shit, that looks so scary. I just saw the arm of that. I think they've made it out of a tree or something. Oh my god, that looks so real. These are the other huts or kuteers that people are staying at, and all of these houses are very unique in itself. I just loved the one that I saw online. I booked it right away because it was on a treetop and I just really wanted that experience. But anyway, this place is so nice. Like, it's greenery all around, as you can see. And I'm just taking you to the reception area because the cafe is right there. And also I need to book an ayurvedic massage for tomorrow. So let's do that. Okay, so I've just had coffee, but unfortunately the cafe/restaurant of the place that I'm staying at was shut. So I have to go out, but that's okay because we only get to explore more places. I'm at this place called the Crepe House, which is right next to Bhakti Kutir. Coffee is had, massage is booked for tomorrow, and I'm just feeling excited because it just feels like a healing trip to me. So far, like been doing my yoga, I've been journaling, I've been taking long walks to the beach. So it just feels like a very healing trip, which is exactly what I needed, and I'm so glad that I'm doing this. One thing I absolutely love about solo traveling is that you get to decide where you want to stay, what you want to eat, what time you want to wake up, like all these small decisions that make up for a whole trip. You're the sole decision maker, and I freaking love that. I freaking enjoy exercising control in the smallest of ways, in like deciding what kind of experience I want to have. It just makes me so happy. I also feel like solo traveling is the best way to heal your inner child, because कोई आपको मना करने वाला नहीं है. आज ज़्यादा सोने का मन है, who cares? You know, sleep a little more. If you want to eat something sweet for breakfast, you do you. Like, no one's there to really stop you and tell you that you can't have something. There's no one else to make that decision for you, and that's the best thing, because you can say yes or no to things that you really want or don't want, and that's the beauty of solo traveling. But with that being said, I also feel like we need to be mindful, especially as female solo travelers, because not every decision leads to the right consequence. For instance, I was at the beach day before yesterday, while I was staying at the hostel on the first night that I was here, and I just thought ki, I'll just take a long walk at the beach, and this dude just creeps into my DM and he sends me a message saying that, oh, I saw you at Palolem, I just found your ID, and it would be great if you reply this and that. If you follow me on Instagram, you know exactly what went down. Like, people replied to my story and asked me to be safe and careful, which I really am. Like, I'm really careful, but these are the things you need to be mindful of, especially as a female solo traveler. And although that was super odd and weird, I did not respond to that guy, but I was just curious to know कि भाई ID कहाँ से मिला. There are so many creative ways that these stalkers can find you. But anyway, what we can do is that be mindful of not sharing your live location. This is one very important tip. Please do not share the live location of the place that you're in at the very moment that you're there. Maybe post it 3-4 hours later, or maybe the next day, because you don't want someone to follow you along while you're at that very place. You don't want someone to come see you while you're experiencing that place and make it really awkward for you. So 1, do not share the live location of the place that you're in at the very moment that you're there. 2, do not step out in the dark. This may sound a little restricting, but it's very helpful. Please don't step out in the dark, especially if you're alone. If you're with a group of people, if you're with a bunch of friends that you made in your hostel or the place that you're staying at, that's completely fine. You just need a couple of people to be along with you. But if you're alone, please don't step out at night. It's not safe, so I'll just advise against it. And number 3, if you feel uncomfortable in any way, or if someone is making you feel a little awkward, just walk out. Do not stay in that place and indulge more than you should, because that's just the reality of situation. Sometimes you want to have the best experience, but sometimes you've just got to walk out and make peace with the fact that this is all there is, because unfortunately you're a woman and people are going to make you feel uncomfortable about it. So I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. I know you're going to be pissed, but the area that I'm staying at did not have any street light. I was at a restaurant yesterday and it got a bit dark, so I asked the lady who was the owner of the restaurant if it was safe to go out, because I came walking all the way and it was a good 15-minute walk. So she told me that you don't need to be afraid, because it is South Goa and it's one of the most safest places that you can be at, because in her words, she told me that even the drunk people will come and help you out. It's that safe. The thing is, it's not the locals that make you feel uncomfortable, it's the tourists that come here who don't have the decency to give you that space to let you enjoy. They make you feel uncomfortable. So there's nothing you can do about it except be careful and mindful. Okay, so my food is here now. I'm just gonna enjoy it and then get back to you. Wow, that was a good heavy lunch. I feel like I need to walk it off now, so मैं जा रही हूँ बीच पे. While I was having lunch, मेरे को ओशन की आवाज़ आ रही थी, तो मैंने रेस्टोरेंट ओनर को पूछा कि is the ocean close by, and he said yeah, you can walk straight ahead, follow this मिट्टी वाला path and you'll just get there in no time. So that's what I'm doing. मेरे को लिटरली प्राइवेट बीच जैसा लग रहा है, बिकॉज यहाँ पे मेरे को कोई नहीं दिख रहा है. मे बी इट्स द टाइम ऑफ द डे और I don't know what it is, but यहाँ पे कोई भी नहीं दिख रहा है. I have this whole beach to myself. One of my intentions for this trip was to practice yoga under a teacher again. As a yoga teacher myself, I rarely get to do that. I wanted to let go of control, turn my teacher brain off for a while, and just surrender to the process and this practice. I took a couple of classes from the same teacher, and during one of the sessions, she said, "We came here on earth to fulfill our duties and responsibilities, but also to rest and play. And sometimes we forget that." It sounded so easy and simplistic, but when she said it, I almost teared up because it felt like she was speaking directly to me. I didn't even realize how much I needed to hear that it's okay to rest, to not feel guilty for wanting to step away for a while. She didn't know what I was going through, so it kind of felt serendipitous in a way as well. And it's moments like these that remind you that the universe has its own way of communicating with you, so you don't lose hope. At least that's what I believe. Some people may just call it a coincidence, but I don't think it is. I think it's magic, and you just have to be open enough to notice that around you. Those words really just restored my faith in the universe and reminded me this is exactly why we do what we do. So I'm about to check out and I just realized I never gave you a proper room tour, which is criminal because this place has been my sanctuary for the last 4 nights. So this is what you see as soon as you walk in. It's a little storage space to keep all of your clothes. This massive bed where I've genuinely had the best sleep of my life. And this beautiful little wooden desk where I've basically just been sitting, writing and daydreaming. And then up here is the bathroom. Hi, that's me. It's actually huge, like way bigger than it needs to be, but I'm not complaining. That's the shower, toilet, and this wooden rack for clothes. Also, I went for an ayurvedic massage and oh my god, it was so good. Like, I've never felt that relaxed. If you come here, you have to get one. My skin was literally glowing after. And then it was go time. I decided to switch things up for my last night and book another stay just to experience something different. A few people had recommended this place, so I was really curious to know. And you guys, I'm not even kidding. At one point I was like, am I even safe? Because this place is like deep inside the forest. But thankfully I made it in one piece. And as soon as I got there, I checked in and they asked if I wanted lunch since everything is pre-ordered and made fresh. So of course I said yes and got myself a thali. And everything they serve here is grown on their own land, like fruits, vegetables, herbs, all of it. Okay, so this is property number 2 that I'm staying at. It's called Kama Ketna, and this is my room. Again, very rustic, very vintage. But the view from here is so good. Wow. And the desk. Oh my god. I feel like I have a thing for wooden desks. After that, I just went to my room and spent the afternoon indoors, reading, meditating, and just taking it all in. So this place is called Kama Ketna, and it's basically this hidden little sanctuary in the middle of a jungle in South Goa. It's about a short walk from Agonda, but once you're inside, it feels like you're in a completely different world altogether. Everything is surrounded by untouched nature. There are these beautiful handcrafted cabanas spread across the forest. It's meant to be a retreat space, especially if you're someone who just wants to disconnect and just be in your energy for a bit. I came here during the off season, so it was mostly just raining and pretty quiet, which honestly made it even more special. Naturally, I just didn't end up doing much and stayed in. You can hear birds here all day, crickets at night, sometimes even spot monkeys and butterflies. And even though it was a little scary at first, being alone in the middle of a forest ended up feeling really wholesome. Hello from a very rainy South Goa. It's my last day here and I do not feel like leaving at all if you ask me. I would extend my stay happily because this trip has been so healing and so comforting. This place is literally in the middle of nowhere. There's no AC, there's Wi-Fi. Well, there's nothing fancy here and somehow it just makes so much sense to me. Like, it feels like the kind of place where artists would come to get the creative juices flowing. Like, I would imagine this place to be a writer's residency, where people would just sit on the desk and write for hours. The place that I was previously staying at, which is Bhakti Kutir, is the parent company of this property. So the founder or like the owner of this place and the other place are pretty much the same. And this property is actually huge. It was founded in 2014 from what I've heard from the manager, and it literally feels like I'm in the middle of a jungle. I'm not even kidding. It's a massive land and there is nobody around me in this place. There are like little huts around here, but they're quite far away. So if I need somebody for help, I'm by myself entirely. It's just so comforting and it feels homely. It speaks to me. It feels very earthy and grounding. And I think this is exactly what I needed because it just calms me down. It calms my nervous system down. Listening to the sound of the birds and the nature and the rain falling while I was sleeping last night. Being close to nature just brings me back to life in all the right ways. And this is exactly what I came here looking for. And I think everyone should just take a break every once in a while and come to a place like this, because when life gets noisy, when you get noisy inside, you just have to walk away for a bit. Not to escape or run, but to listen. Come here to listen to your fears, to what your longings are. Because I feel like sometimes you don't even realize how much of yourself you've abandoned until you sit in stillness and listen to what you really want out of your life. This trip has been so wholesome. I've met so many teachers along the way. I say teachers because I feel like every stranger I meet is a teacher to me. They give me the answers I've been looking for, and that's what traveling alone means to me. I travel alone so that I can meet other people, and somehow whenever I need the answers, I just get them. This trip wasn't about figuring my whole life out. It was just about being willing to come back to myself and trusting that that's enough for now. So if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling exhausted, I just want to tell you that you don't need a breakdown to take a break. You don't need to feel exhausted to earn rest. If something inside you has been whispering quietly to slow down, please listen to that. Please take a break. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you from a life that you're drifting away from. So that was about it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed watching South Goa from my perspective, and I hope to see you guys very soon in the next one. Bye guys.